Call this meeting of county to order. Let's begin with a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, well, good morning, everybody. First item of business is to approve the agenda, and we've got some additions to go with that.
Oh, okay.
Motion by Jason. I guess there's only the two of us. Jason and Wayne, or Wayne and Jason. We'll call it quit. Any comments? Call a question. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Then we've got the minutes from September 20th. Okay, we've got a motion.
A second.
Jason, and a second by Wayne.
Our minutes guy isn't here yet.
No. Any questions on that? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries unanimously. Move on to financial business, courthouse claims, highway claims, and health and human services claims.
Mr. Chair, I'll move items A, B, and C.
Okay, we've got a motion,
I'll second again.
and a second by Wayne. Any questions on those? All right, hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We'll move on to 3D, approve a warrant.
I'll move on that, Mr. Chair.
We've got a motion, Wayne, thank you.
Second, Mr. Chair.
And look at this. We did everything you didn't want us to do, so.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
We got a second by Jason. Any questions on that? If not, we'll call the question. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, we'll move on then to item 3E, set the preliminary 2023 county tax levy. That's it.
So as we look at the preliminary budget, we have everybody entered in here. And with general revenue at 2.2, public health human services at 1.7. Now these are preliminary numbers, keep that in mind. Environment highway at 528, environmental services. Anyway, the total levy comes up to 5.520. And that includes the indebtedness of the jail. And it also has a 14% levy increase from 2022. However, due to the increase in the tax base, the county tax rate is less than 2022 because we went from about 11 million, to 14 million with our tax base. So that means that it kept our percentage down where it should be, comparable with last year. This means that if your taxable valuation has not increased from the previous year, your county tax will slightly decrease. Now, when we look at the county budget, you can see that we did make some adjustments in some of the budgets that total $224,500. That reflects some administration cuts, adjustments, no new funding requests, and keeping the request at the 2022 levels. So the outside requests that we have, such as Citizens for Backus, drug court extension, and so on and so forth, we kept those at 2022 levels. Even they may have asked for more, we started with that. And then if we look at our revenues, overall revenues for 2023 is at $41,748,416. And when you look at our adjusted request, that's at $47,118,753. So there is a difference of $5,370,337. So that's our shortfall that we have right now. This number does include that $2.5 million for the Island View Sewer Project. because we have it on this budget, because we need to first look at how we're gonna get that paid for. So we did include it in the budget. So this means that unreserved general revenue is going to be used. For general revenue, we'll be using 1.732 million. For County Development Fund, there'll be 369,000 that will be used. Environmental Services Fund, 718,000. Highway Fund would be spending down 1,759,000 of their reserves. Health and Human Services Fund will be, I'm sorry, Highway Fund, I'm looking at the wrong numbers, pardon me. Highway Fund is 1.615 of their 1.759 reserve, well, it leaves 1.759 of their reserves. Highway Fund would be spending down, or no, I'm sorry, Health and Human Services Fund would be spending down 230,000 of their reserves, which would leave their reserves at 2.591. KDA Fund would be spending down 46,000 of their reserves, which would leave us at 241,000 with that fund. Land and Forestry Fund would be spending down 111,000, which would leave 1.573 million in their reserves. The Jackfish Sewer Fund would be using 31,000 of their funds, leaving 105,000. And then we did put in here also the ARPA funds, the American Rescue Funds. We included those in some of our unreserved general revenue, just so you can keep that in front of you, that we do have that money still sitting there. So when we talk about the levy then, as when I passed out the sheets last week, I don't know if you still have yours with you. We talked about a recommended preliminary county tax levy to support the 2023 county budget. And that total levy would be at 5.9 million. And that includes an additional 400,000 to support the 2023 county budget, which with the jail bonded debt is a 22% levy increase from 2022. However, due to the increase in the tax base, the county tax rate is actually the same as 2022. This means that if your taxable valuation has not increased from the previous year, your county tax will remain the same. But those homes where their valuations did increase, they will definitely see an increase in their property taxes.
Matt snuck out of here. I was gonna make sure he knows he's gonna have to pick up all that debt for the.
Some way, huh?
Well, all in all, it's better than I thought it would be. If we look to the future, though, we're looking at, I think, possibly $20 million for that jail facility. That's going to be a big burden.
Yeah.
And we're being required to do it by the states.
Yeah.
So the indebtedness for the jail bond is what percentage of the total?
Let me see. I think it's 14.
How much was it?
14%.
14%.
All right, any comments or questions? Yeah, there's it. Matt, I was just saying that we're going to let you pick up that cost for the whole run on the sewer there.
No problems.
So, any more questions or comments? We're going to have a motion then to set the county tax levy.
And we know this is just preliminary.
Did a lot of work on this.
Thankful for Teresa.
She came over and helped.
Yes, she's been a huge help. Sure. Thank you.
wishes of the board?
I move that we would set the preliminary levy at the requested amount.
All right, we've got a motion by Jason. There's a second.
I'll second that, Mr. Chair.
We've got a second by Kevin. Any, excuse me, any questions or discussion?
Didn't sound as bad as we thought it was gonna be, so.
No. And this is preliminary.
Preliminary, yeah. We can still,
Preliminary,
we can still lower it, but we can't go up,
but that's
so.
correct. But it's still going up, so.
All right.
Excuse me, if I
Go ahead.
could get clarification. Jason, your motion did include the recommended 2023 preliminary county levy? Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, with that, we'll call the question then. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. We'll move on then to human resource business. Good morning.
Morning. I only have one on my list today.
Approve an employment promotion of deputy recorder.
Yes, I'm seeking authorization to approve the promotion of Jeannie Nagel from her current role as deputy recorder to deputy recorder info system technician with a wage increase in accordance with that union contract language. And Ms. Nagel's start date will be October 3rd of this year. We did post the vacant deputy recorder position as it was approved at our last board meeting. We kind of did, to prevent prolonging the recruitment, we kind of took care of both of them at once. So that posting will be coming down tomorrow, and we will be recruiting externally as no one has posted for it.
So the vacant deputy recorder has been posted, okay.
Correct.
Wishes of the board?
I'll move, Mr. Chair.
Got a motion by Kevin,
I'll second.
second by Wayne to approve as requested. Further discussion? Gotta have it, I guess.
Yep.
All those in
Please.
favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Short. Okay, we'll move on to the Rural Fire Protection Association, the 23 rate structure. Who's here for that?
I'm gonna have
You're both welcome.
Nina.
I got another chair.
You can just go.
There you go, grab that one right there. No one's using it.
There you go.
We don't have that much
Take the
to
big
say.
chair,
Oh,
please.
jeez. We're just here to disrupt the meeting this morning.
When you sit down here, the IQs go lower, and we prove it every Tuesdays.
Well, we'll stay over
You
here.
can move it around the corner if you want, or whatever.
Well, I don't want to look like I'm a commissioner.
Why would you do that, right?
They could yell at you for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, we're looking at approving the Rural Fire Protection Association 23 rate structure.
Again, no increase again this year. I can't tell you the last time we increased because it was prior to either of us being on the board, but
That's amazing when you think about it.
and we've added equipment and
Yeah.
we have a new contract with the city that is a good contract for us and for them, and it went very quickly, so we're happy with the process this year.
Who's operating the boat?
Fire department.
They are, okay.
Mhm. The engineers, they've got some engineers who are specialized in the boat training who run the boat. It wasn't used a ton, fortunately, again this
Yeah.
year, obviously with the flood and everything else, but another good year for the boat, I think. So
Our boat was used at, you're probably aware, at the Northern Air fire, and they did shoot it at the propane tank just to keep it cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carol and I had just got home and we were watching it across the lake.
Yeah.
What a sad scenario.
oh, horrible.
All right, well, anyway,
Just to bring the board up to speed with the RFPA board, things we're looking at. One is possibly a new dock and storage place for the boat. We're currently at Rainy Lake Houseboats, and we still got a couple of years there that we're paying them for dock space, but we are looking into and possibly we want to be centrally located, so either direction the boat has to go. Hopefully the distance is somewhat the same on that. We're also looking at an upgrade possibly to the pump on the boat. We've got Adam checking on that to see if a new pump might add more pressure, get the stream out a little farther than that. The other thing we've got Adam checking into is replacing our current tanker with a good used one. I know the one we have is quite old and it barely chugs along. So, and indications from Randy Posniak are that financially we could pay cash for a good used pumper and still be financially in good shape. So that's kind of what we're up to these days.
Before the boat that you have now, Randy took us out on a boat that they were looking at, and it had the sonar underneath. And you turned that on, it was unbelievable. It just looked like a forest had gone through a tornado. All these big trees and logs laying down there. See, it's just amazing. No idea. And apparently, what they say, it doesn't rot underwater. So there's all that lumber. Pretty neat. Well, anyway, any board have any questions or comments?
Great service.
Thank you.
Certainly needed, and I appreciate the idea of having it centrally located. That's it.
I have to say, without Adam Manassa being part of our meetings and the work that he's been doing for us on his side, it would be, things may not, have been able to roll as well as they have, and he's wonderful, so we really appreciate his hard work.
He's been a big help and answers questions. He doesn't know, he checks it out and gets back to us, so it's been a real positive.
It's good to have some collaboration there.
Yes.
All right, well, it's up to the board then, looking for the approval of Association 23 rate structure.
I'll move, Mr. Chair.
Got a motion by Kevin.
I'll second.
Second by Wayne to approve as presented. Is any questions, comments? Anyone in the audience? Okay. With that, we'll call a question then. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
all
you.
the work you guys do. Appreciate it. We'll move on then. Adopt a resolution approving the wastewater treatment facilities plan. Who's talking to us about that? Any of the board members really on top of this?
Well, early on, I just started attending these here, and it sounds like they're going to try to go through and rehab manhole structures and to kind of meet some of the requirements set for the infiltration. So, and I know Matt knows maybe a little bit more about it. I won't throw him under the bus too far, but that's what I've gotten out of this year. So this is really, and it's needed. It's a more of a requirement, and it's continuing maintenance. So it's a good idea to do this stuff and keep up with it. So,
Matt?
Just MPCA is coming down on infiltration into public sewer systems, and this is part of that process. They have to try to develop a plan and implement the plan to eliminate or decrease the amount of infiltration into their systems. So I think this is a step. I think Jason Shop probably was trying to get online, I'm sure, but I'm not sure.
Maybe that's what they're working on.
Yeah.
I work with Jason on, we've got this entire area that we're working on, and right now our focus is on Captogama and Ash River. So we're making some progress there.
Sure, yeah, this is taking existing older system and making improvements so that you have less infiltration, so.
Bringing them up to speed.
Yeah, it's, adopting this plan probably, allows them to seek funding, I think, to help.
All right. I'll bring it to the board.
Mr. Chair.
All right, we've got a motion by Jason,
I'll second, Mr. Chair.
by Kevin to adopt the resolution approving the East Cooch Sanitary Sewer District wastewater treatment facilities plan. That's a lot to say. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you, everybody. We'll move on then to Public Health and Human Service business.
Morning.
Morning.
I am very light.
Morning, Kathy.
Morning. So all I have today is the approve to void 3 warrants.
I'll second, Mr. Chair.
Okay, we've got a motion by Wayne and a second by Kevin to approve the voids. Any questions or comments? Kind of black and white there.
Yep.
Wishes of the board.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Motion carries
that's it.
unanimously. Thank you. Recorder business. Hey,
Morning.
Morning.
approve county software support agreement and authorize the board chair's signature.
So the recording software that the recorder's office uses every day for all of our receipting and recording, just up for a new contract. That's been negotiated with the user group through MSIS, and we're just looking for a signature. Jeff Nagloski has reviewed everything and is okay with the contract, so we're just asking to update that.
Sounds like we're ready to go then.
I'll move, Mr. Chair.
Okay, we've got a motion by Kevin.
I'll second.
Second by Wayne to approve as presented. Any discussion? All right, we'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Land and Forest business.
Good morning.
Morning, Nathan.
You should be getting some gray hair by now.
It's there.
Oh. Consider what, a PC purchase?
Yeah, so what we're looking to do with this, this item is to replace all 7 desktop computers for all of our 7 field foresters and our outlying field offices. They are originally, or they're supposed to be scheduled to be budgeted and replaced in 2023, but I looked into it, and based on the current state contract pricing, we could save like $700 a unit, potentially by buying now. So we have, if we replaced all 7 of them now, it would be about an $8,800 cost. I have about $5,000 in the capital outlay for computer equipment, and then the other remaining $3,700 or $3,800 I can cover. I have the money in my budget to cover it in a separate line item. So.
All right.
I'll move on the motion.
Got a motion by Wayne,
Second, Mr. Chair.
and we've got a second by Jason. Any questions or comments?
Makes sense to buy it early.
Yeah.
Gotta have them, so.
Yeah.
The way it's going, you don't know what's gonna happen, that's for sure.
Yeah, we might not get them till next year.
So that's, it might be a year to get here or
Can't
something.
hardly get a car or a truck right now.
Yeah.
All right, we'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, somebody we can pick on.
Good morning.
Environmental Service Director, drum roll, please. I gotta give you a hard time. You think I was mad with? Certified delinquent commercial solid waste service fee list.
Yeah, I gave you a list here this morning. It's an annual obligation of the county auditor to certify a list of commercial entities which have not paid the annual solid waste service fee. Any that do not pay the fee by the date of certification by the county board will be listed on the delinquent solid waste service fee list. The county auditor will add the delinquent fee with a 10% penalty to the tax statements due in 2023. And I would recommend moving forward with this. There's about, I can't remember the number, 60 parcels that were on the list there. 64 parcels.
Any of the commissioners on this list? Is that pretty stagnant from other years, or?
You know, it's pretty similar to other years. We collect about, on this, the commercial side, we collect about, our total billing's $139,505, and we've collected so far $124,175. So the delinquent total that's remaining unpaid is $15,330. But then, you know, it just gets added to the taxes the following year and generally gets paid, so. And it's an important part of it, part of our program. You know, on the residential side, we collect roughly 375,000. Seasonal places, we collect about 50,000. So, you know, all of that helps contribute to our solid waste programming.
So what do you do? I mean, the staff send out a notice?
Yeah, so on the residential and seasonal side, it's just added to the taxes. On the non-residential properties, because there's a sliding scale, we send out invoices. We sent them out twice, and in most cases they were paid, but this was a list of those that have not been paid. And every year we have a list of unpaid invoices. So, but that's just, you know, for various reasons. You know, people have various reasons why they don't get paid. So.
All right. Wishes of the board there on the fee list.
I'll move, Mr. Chair.
Motion by Commissioner Eby.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner
Already had the
Skoye.
motion, but that's okay.
How about out there in Northland, they pay up?
Well, yeah, they're throughout the county. Most people do pay, so.
I was just thinking about Commissioner there.
Yeah.
Keep on the ball. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Parcel rezoning requests, 2 of them.
Yeah, so the Planning and Zoning Commission met on Thursday, September 8th, to hold a public hearing on the parcel rezoning application submitted by Jeff and Diane Swabalski, requesting to rezone approximately 80 acres from O1 open space to AF1 ag forestry in order to construct a year-round dwelling. The parcel is located approximately 1.5 miles west of Gemmel on Town Road 35. After hearing no opposition to the proposed rezoning, the Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously recommended to approve the rezoning application as submitted. So, and I included copies of the information for you to look at. So,
Actually, that one had a building on it when they took when they changed the zoning for out there. Jeff's, or his wife's grandfather was living on the place. Apparently there was an ad in the paper and he never saw it, so they took it off being homesteaded to the seasonal rec or whatever it was going to do. But yeah, so there was a home on there when they changed it. All moved that we changed it.
Okay, got a motion.
Second
by Wayne.
Second, Mr. Chair.
And we've got a second by Jason. So, any questions or comments? Is it cleared land, that 80, or?
I think it's a mix of, where the old house is and where they're going to build, it's open, and then there's some,
It's adjoining other ag properties,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not all by
yeah.
itself.
yeah.
And like I said, it always was that way, but no one ever caught it. And there is some that has come back to be timbered now in the last
Right.
25 years.
Right.
now.
It's nice to get new construction. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
big deal
Yeah.
in our county. Anytime we can get some new construction, and as long as it's got a, serviceable road, that's a big deal. So I think it's in the county's interest to do it.
Increase the tax base.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I don't know if they're still doing it, but the county highway went up there to turn around because it was the biggest spot at the end, so,
Sure.
yeah, so there is, there's county roads.
We'll call the question then. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Then we've got another one.
Sure, yeah. And,
Craig Schultz.
yep, and again, the Planning Commission met to hear the rezoning application submitted by Craig and Sandy Schultz, requesting to rezone approximately 91 acres of their approximately 180 acres from O1 open space to AF1 in order to construct a year-round dwelling. The parcels are located approximately 7 miles south of Little Fork on Town Road 142, lying west of County Road 8. After hearing no opposition to the proposed rezoning, the Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously recommended to approve the rezoning application as submitted. And so that's their recommendation in the same type of situation where it was open space and they would need to rezone it in order to build a house, which is a good thing for the county. So,
I'll move on up.
Got a motion.
I'll second, to clarify. The 2201 must just been out of order or something here.
what's that?
Just, I think they were out of order in the book or in pen or something here. Craig and Sandy should actually be 2201, which we just approved.
Oh, I didn't.
Swapowski is 2202 and Schultz is 2201. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Was it listed differently on your?
Yeah, we read this one first.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So,
All right. Any further questions, comments? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries unanimously. So we've got them in order then now, right?
Yeah, I'll make sure the motions are correct when we review, just to make sure, clarify, but I appreciate that. But yeah, it goes back to show you, having good roads, allowing people to have access to their property is important because they can then develop their property and build houses and various other items.
What a
So,
nice area too.
yeah, they're all
Especially.
super nice. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Matt. Let's see, we've got an addition here then. Accept the county commissioner resignation and set the committee as a whole to discuss the vacancy.
I'll move, Mr. Chair.
I'll second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. And this is for medical reasons for Commissioner Bruce. Yes. I hope, wish him the best. Carol and I stopped and we spent the evening with both of them. Yeah, it was fun and he was quite lucid, but he has trouble getting his words out. And then his left, I think it's his left arm, just isn't able to use it yet. He's come a long way. Anyway, so we would have to have a motion for we'd have to have the board.
Approve it, accept it, yeah. Got your motion for
We've
that.
got a motion and a second, so we'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Wish him the best.
I've also asked to set a committee of the whole to discuss the vacancy, and we do have one scheduled for next Tuesday. We'll be talking over budgets and so forth, so it's not right if I
Yep,
add this.
just add it right to it. Be perfect. All right, any other business come before the board? If not,
Public comment.
Is there?
Public comment.
Public comment.
come on.
Oh. Thank you. Do you want to join me, Jen?
You're getting kind of gray sideburns.
Thank you. I'm Bob DeGrosse. I'm a resident of Koochiching County, and I'm here today representing the Rotary Club of International Falls, and just an informational opportunity before the board. And I'm here with Jeff Hardwig as well. And we just wanted to share the word about a speaker series that we have coming up here in the the fall and winter of 2022 and 23. And one of the things that the Rotary Club of International Falls has done is we started a welcoming community initiative. And, you know, we have many, many positive attributes of our area. You know, we live in a very beautiful area, but we have challenges too. And one of the challenges that we've had over the last decades or so is the loss of population and everything. And so we recognize that we want to rebuild our population here within International Falls and the county in general and everything. And one of the best ways for us to do that in Rotary's perspective is to assure that we're a welcoming community to everyone and anyone who's interested in considering our county and city as a potential place of residence and things, you know.
You know, to that point, when Jeff and I were in school, we had a population here at that time of almost about 18,000.
Oh, really? Yeah.
The last census, we were at 11,700.
Yeah.
And that's a significant. But of
Well-
course, you know, the mill, at that time, we had 4 machines running, and a logging operation took 20 people, you know, and now 2 guys can go out and do it with all the equipment they have. So everything's changed.
If there's any benefit, if there are any benefits to the pandemic, you know, one of the things is the remote working opportunity. And since we do live in such a beautiful area, what are the potential of people wanting to potentially consider the area either seasonally or year-round, because they can come up here and fulfill their career and work responsibilities from anywhere else in the country, right?
Good point.
And so, you know, and the other thing that we want to be prepared for is that the likelihood of residents coming in being like the majority of residents might be different, right? You know, the demographics of the state and the region are changing. And so how do we prepare ourselves for understanding the perspectives of people who might be from different groups and things like that? So that's what the Welcoming Community Initiative is doing, really preparing International Falls and Koochiching County for our future vitality, hopefully. So do you have anything to add, Jen?
Just that we've been planning this initiative, this series of talks for about a year. And in the meantime, we have been in contact with other leaders of various social fields within our community: education, law enforcement, the faith-based communities, medical, nonprofits. So we've been busy meeting with a lot of people. We waited to talk to the county board out of respect for your time. We wanted to make sure we had the program in place with dates and times so that we could give that to you.
Yeah, and so this speaker series aims to just open a dialogue to prepare ourselves, like I say, for the future vitality of our area and everything. We are planning on having midday training opportunities, and where it is within your purview to encourage the county employees and offices to consider those midday training opportunities, we'd encourage you to do that. Those midday training opportunities are going to be open to only 40 participants because it is more of a training. And then in the evening from 5 to 6:30, we're going to have an open public presentation. All of these trainings and presentations will be taking place at the Minnesota North College Rainy River campus at their facility and things. And the speaker series begins with a person coming up to talk about the demographic changes of the state and the region. Then our next, and that's going to be on October 19th. Our next speaker in December, on December 7th, will be focusing on what are welcoming communities that are, what are the attributes of a welcoming community, and also what type of efforts are taking place in Northeast Minnesota in terms of building welcoming communities.
Is that Pearl Harbor Day?
It is Pearl Harbor Day, yes.
December 7th, the day that will live in infamy.
Yeah, live in infamy. And then January, we have Anton Troyer, who's an advocate for Ojibwe culture, coming to do presentations. And then in February, we have Deacon Ross Murray, who's actually a former resident of Little Fork, coming to the area and talking about how to build a welcoming community for the LGBTQ community and everything. So this is our first year. We recognize that this is an ongoing conversation, and really, it has to be a conversation amongst the community about what can we do to demonstrate to people that we are a welcoming community, and we do want to really build our community and everything. So we're hoping that next year, during the fall and winter, we will also continue this effort. We're doing it in the fall and the winter because, as we all know, we're also busy in the summertime when it's a great time to be out on the lake and everything. So that's when we're doing the conversation. So just wanted to inform you of that and encourage your participation, and if you can, spread the word amongst the county employees and offices to encourage their participation as well and everything. So.
One thing I've noticed over the years, even though our permanent population has declined, and especially throughout the summer, we've got, because of the park and a lot of other things going on, I mean, it's busy up here. We have a lot of people here in the summer months.
And we need employees, right? I mean, we've all seen at, whether it be restaurants or whatever service opportunities they are, or even the different businesses that we have, we really need to build our population base to assure that we have employees that are able to keep our businesses running and everything. So, yeah.
All right. Well, at this point, this is information.
Just informational, really, and yeah. So I appreciate your time.
Are you guys going to publicize it in the paper or something so everybody sees it?
Yeah, it's been out in the paper. We've been doing social media posting and everything like that. So we've been trying to get the word out.
Good.
And to take part in the events, if you're interested in taking part in the training opportunities during the middle of the day, we do ask that people RSVP since seating is limited.
Sure.
In the evening presentations, we encourage people to RSVP just so that we have a sense of how much participation there might be. But of course, the venue at the Rainy River campus holds about 200 people or so. So we anticipate that it's not necessary to RSVP, but we encourage people.
So for the RSVP, who would that go to?
You can either click on this QR code here,
Okay.
or I know I've emailed, and Betsy can share the email with you, and then there's links to the Eventbrite page that you register to attend and everything. So, yeah.
If I could just add that when we first started this initiative, we didn't know, but later learned that there is a bit of a movement that we've joined. And in fact, the University of Minnesota has created a toolkit for doing what we're doing. We've been following it fairly closely in terms of how to go about this process. So we've been aided by the experience of others. And we have some really good people. The training, I think, is going to be very beneficial for whoever attends.
And also, I just want to thank the Episcopal Church in Minnesota, Friends Against Abuse in International Falls, and the Rotary Club of International Falls have provided the financial support of this so that the presentations and training can be free to anyone who attends. And we'll be working with KCC TV as well, hopefully, to record the evening public presentation so that they can be rebroadcast on KCC TV at different times. So.
Well, on behalf of the community, we appreciate the work that you folks are doing to do these things. Yeah, it's great ideas.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so guys, any other business come before the board?
Just me.
Oh, well, come on up.
I'm just here to let you know that I've started my service as a AmeriCorps service member. I appreciate the office that you guys provided down in the basement. And for those of you that don't know, my job is to promote the use of internet, the Affordable Care Plan, so that people can get reduced affordable broadband access, find them devices, and then teach them how to use them. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me. I'll be on the job for a year.
Oh.
And look forward to working with you. KTI is the host, as you know, although you guys signed off on the contract. And we lack funding right now, so one of my first jobs is to try and find grants to support the work that I need to do. You know, I can't hold town hall meetings without money to buy refreshments and things like that. But so if I find grants, I'll be bringing them to you as well.
Is there, I mean, I'm trying to think here, is there a way that you're able to get this out to the community, that, you know, that you're doing this and available, or?
Yeah, so right now I'm starting with building relationships with the different committees and boards throughout the county. Hence my attendance at the KETA meeting where you saw me yesterday. I'm holding off on some of my activities until after November due to potential conflicts. So, but once things have wrapped up in November, then I will start holding town hall meetings, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Be more public about it. There's lines I can't cross while I'm wearing two hats. So,
I hear you.
so yep. So
Well, I think that's great.
yeah.
Good for you.
And I am working both from home and the basement. So, but if you ever need me, you might want to look at the basement first and don't guard it like I'm in the office.
Instead of moving up, you move down, huh?
Hey, that's all right. It's very quiet. It's actually a very nice
Oh, I got
office
you.
space, and it's very quiet down there. So
I had to fight Matt to get that other. He won, so
yeah.
we were looking for a first floor. But
I actually kind of enjoy being in the basement. I'm not gonna lie. It's like you said, it's a very quiet space, very focused opportunity, and the office is big enough that I can hold meetings in that space if I needed to, or in the adjoining conference
I haven't
room.
been in the basement for a while, but you still got to go through security or something to get down there?
The doors are security now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you need a what, a pass?
Yep. Digital.
Oh, okay.
Digital. Yep. So I'm all set.
Yeah, we used to have meetings and everything down there. We hardly ever use it anymore. So.
Yeah, I haven't been on in a couple of years.
All right, well,
That's it.
gee, thank you.
You are welcome.
Thank you for telling us all this stuff. We're getting up to speed now, and that's great.
Thank you, Jackie.
Yep.
So much for retirement, huh?
Well, I'm so young.
And this is more enjoyable, huh?
You know, I'm actually was not intentional that I'd be the AmeriCorps service member. I was intended to be the mentor for the service member, but we lacked applications. And because no one applied, I did not want to let the opportunity go by. So basically, I'm picking up and running with the work I was doing as a KTI member and the IS director.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity now and in the future. So this is something that we're going to work towards. If we can continue this, I think possibly for another year for sure, and then kind of look at the grant situation and how we can fund some type of a continuing type of thing. So that's kind of our end goal anyway, at least, or I know Jackie's goal, I'm sure, and then other folks too. So
Good. Well, good. I mean, I think it's great.
Well, on behalf of KTI, we appreciate your support. Thank you.
All right. Okay, that's great. Any other business? That's it, isn't it?
That's it.
Motion to adjourn would be in order. We've got a motion by Kevin,
second.
second by Jason. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. This meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everybody.